guys, welcome to DOdaily. Welcome to another episode live of Thursday Thoughts. Your questions answered. Got a few to go at today as ever. Looking forward to getting stuck into those. Decent questions. A lot about walking. This week through Running, through DOdaily, of course, I've put a bit of attention on that. We set the Wednesday workout challenge yesterday of doing 10,000 steps every day of Lent up until Easter. So instead of giving something up, we're trying to take something on board, take a positive step, getting plenty of activity. And of course, that's what DOdaily is all about throughout the week, isn't it? It's about encouraging activity, inviting people to get involved in this community and really reap all the benefits of regular exercise as well as staying connected with others. And that's really important, isn't it? As ever, I always say on a Thursday, I can't believe how quickly they come around. But had a great week, really enjoyed DOdaily this week, really positive feedback, really good episodes, I feel. Really enjoyed doing yesterday's, making the video and giving out a few tips for those who might be starting out on their activity journey. So if you are, please check that out. Really encouraging feedback, like I say. Also, the video from 2 weeks ago, what has been particularly pleasing, has hit over 200 views. Can't thank people enough for watching. Whilst that's not really that important, of course, I'd like people to look in. The numbers are irrelevant in a way, but if just 1-2 people get something from that, of course, I was getting out of my comfort zone. People will watch it for whatever reason, whether it's to take something from it or whether it's to take the piss, to be honest. It's one of those, I put myself out there, I laid myself on the line a little bit just to really highlight that everybody goes through something at some stage. I'm not claiming to have had it any worse than anybody else, but I found I hit a real low spot. And one of the things we really try to focus on through DOdaily, through Thursday Thoughts in particular, I guess, is mental health. I'm not kind of scared to approach that subject, So for whatever reason, people will watch it, that's completely up to them. Like I say, some will watch it because they want to see me sort of progressing. Most will probably watch it because they want to see me tripping myself up. But there you go, that's just the way it is. But after sort of talking about that earlier in the week, I took Kay and said, whilst getting that amount of viewers is great, whilst building the channel is absolutely fantastic, and it's something I definitely want to work hard at to progress. The more viewers that watch, potentially 1 or 2 people will watch it and get something from it, and that's the real important thing. Those that really support what I do here, it's so important for me to keep going because I want to progress, but for them as well. There's a handful, I know there might be, but there's a handful who really get behind what I do, really support it, posting questions, make comments, share the video, and that's fantastic, isn't it? So keep doing that, guys. I can't thank those enough. The people who are viewing as well, that's fantastic too. But for those who really sort of put effort in, like I'm trying to do here, I can't thank you enough. So it's made for a great week, hitting that kind of viewing number. Like I say, as well as all the DOdailies. Looking forward to Wake Up to Walk tomorrow. Got a question about that today, so looking forward to getting stuck into that one. But not sure where I'm going, but it's absolutely amazing. The nights are drawing out, but so are the mornings. Well, the mornings are drawing in, out. I don't know which way you say that without thinking about it, but it's getting lighter in the morning anyway. So it's giving me a bit more time to get out, get a bit of a longer walk, and really make the most of getting up. So really looking forward to that in the morning. As ever, what I'd like to do is start with a throwback question. Last week I asked for who was your ultimate sporting hero or idol. We spoke about it a lot in the group, in a WhatsApp group, related to running. I'll start with mine. I spoke about him a lot. I walked past the football ground when the stand named after him. My ultimate sporting hero is Brian Clough. I suppose in terms of achievements and what I've been able to see and witness, I've not been lucky enough to see the glory years at Forest, but his personality, his demeanour, the way he sort of conducted himself, the way he took no bullshit, is really admirable to me. Really sort of, there's people you stop and listen to in life, and he's just one of them, isn't he? And that's why he's my sporting hero. Ian says John Robertson, a player from that area. He was lucky enough to witness it. He's a little bit older than me. I won't reveal his age, but he's a little bit older. So he was really lucky to see a fantastic footballer, the guy who was voted for his greatest ever player. So, and who's really, still spoken about so highly today. Like I say, people of that generation still say he's the greatest player. I'd love to have been able to see him play. Kay says Paula Radcliffe, as a runner, as a woman, somebody to really look up to, somebody who sort of went out there and just did it. Just doing it is the motto we work from. Somebody who just smashed every record in sight, and did it for a period of time. And just such an inspiration to women. Dawn said Gary Mabbott. She was probably thinking I was going to ask her why, but I probably know why. Gary Mabbott was a guy who played football to a very high standard, won the FA Cup, played for Tottenham for many years, and he had diabetes, and I guess in those days it wasn't so common. I'm not sure it's that common now, to be honest, but somebody who had to sort of deal with diabetes and perform and play at the highest level in sport, and I know Dawn's got diabetes, and it's something she has to look at while she's running. So I guess he's a real big inspiration. Not quite so keen myself. He was part of the Tottenham team that beat Forest in the cup final in '91, but I can see exactly why she would see him as an inspiration. Ben says Nikki Spinks. Wasn't that clued up on Nikki Spinks? Ben gave me a bit of an explanation. Somebody who took up running really late, another female, competed in ultras, again smashed records all over the place. Ben also says that she's working class. She didn't do it full time. She's a farmer, which rings a bell with Ben. He's from the lakes, that sort of area, I think. I should know that. But coming from a farm as well, I believe. So there's a few people there. There's one or two others thrown in. Sterling Moss, Ayrton Senna, all these people. And all I'm trying to do there is just get people thinking of why they enjoy certain people. Sometimes we need to sort of use some of that inspiration. I never stopped watching Brian Clough. I never stopped watching the way he speaks, the way he talks to people. Some people thought he was rude and arrogant. I can understand that. But again, there's certain people, when they talk, you stop and listen. And for me, people like him, and one or two others are people I really look up to. And of course, because of the Forest connection, because of all the trophies, because he gave me a big football club to support, and whilst we're not as successful as we used to be, I've had the pleasure of supporting a great football club. Without him, not just the club, the city might not be as big as it is. The growth of the club and the city through the European Cup years and winning that, really put Nottingham on the map. So a place I'm particularly proud from, so I feel I've got a lot to thank him for. But like I said, that was just a starter, just to get us thinking about things. It gives people the chance to give that input. Like I say, thanks to those for popping those in. Really important, isn't it, to keep thinking about what works, what we enjoy, what we take something from, and that's all that was about. Getting into the questions, how are you currently feeling about the pandemic and the prospect of the future? Ian asked this question, not the same Ian, by the way, but another Ian. I'm pretty positive. I'm hoping on Monday we get a clear roadmap of how we're going to get out of this situation. Like everybody, I'm a little bit fed up with the situation now. It's nearly a year, isn't it? And, you know, when you tell yourself that, it's a little bit daunting. We all thought it was going to be a real temporary measure, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, you know, at the latest by the end of summer last year. But it's going on, and the longer it goes, the trickier it gets. There's people suffering, you know, and this is one of the reasons I do what I do here, you know, just to sort of offer some input. Like I say, some people might not watch it for those reasons. Some people might not get it, but that's not going to deter me. You know, I feel like I've got a bit of a purpose now to try and help where I can. One of the reasons I do daily and do everything I do is because I didn't feel I had chance at certain points in my life, you know, and I know there's people out there. Some people are born into comfort, relative comfort, and whilst we all suffer, I'm not sort of segregating mental health and putting people in different categories, you know. There's people who haven't got opportunity, and that's something I'm really driven to help and support. So just knowing there's somebody honest and relatable, you know, and feels it. And with COVID, getting back to the sort of subject, the pandemic, you know, I really do feel it. I feel like I'm on that wave everybody's in right now, you know. Everybody's upset for a reason. Some of the things I don't miss, some of the things have really worked for me, so I can take the positives from it. But right now, I feel like it's time. It needs to be sort of over. We need to get back to some of those things, you know. The socialising bit is the most important thing. More than anything, I miss the running groups, you know. The pub, I miss that, you know, only for the social side. You know, I could quite easily go without it in many other ways, but there's lots of reasons we need to be back in circles, you know, social circles, and really moving forward. And hopefully, like I say, on Monday, Boris can shed some light on that. You know, we can keep rolling out the vaccination. How positive is it? Do you know, I was lucky enough to have the vaccination right near the start of the rollout because of my full-time work. And I was really positive, and I don't think people understood that at the time, but I can see as more and more people have it, that positivity builds. People can see that light at the end of the tunnel and really start thinking about those good times again, you know, those times away, those holidays, those events, the times in the pub, you know, meeting up for coffee. I'd love to meet somebody for a coffee and sit down and chat, you know. Right now, when I do meet for coffee, it's a long walk, and it's not quite the same, you know. Sometimes you want a real good chat. You want to get deep. You want to get into it. That's what friends are for, you know. And we're not getting that opportunity, are we? It's okay. It's nice being out and about, and with the weather picking up, it makes all the difference. But again, you know, the prospect. Just looking at the prospects for the future. If we start coming out of lockdown, as the night starts drawing out, as the days become longer, as the weather starts warming up, that's going to be absolutely fantastic, isn't it? It's going to be like a double win, you know, an extra bonus on top. So yeah. What to kind of sum that up? I kind of say I'm looking forward to what Boris has got to say. I'm optimistic. You know, I know ultimately we're going to come through it, and I sense that when everything does open up, it might just really, really pick everyone up, even make things even better than they were before. Even if it's for a short period, a couple of months, a couple of years, everybody's going to really sort of feel those benefits again, and perhaps not take a few things for granted. But like everybody, you know, I have my ups, I have my downs with it. I watch the news too much sometimes. Sometimes I tune in to see what's going on. You know, it's just important to balance it all off. Remember what's worked. Remember to carry on in the same vein. Keep working hard. Keep the activity high. You know, keep doing all the things that keep us safe. Keep washing our hands. Keep our distance from people. You know, and the more we do that, the quicker we'll be out of it. I don't want to sound like those stuck records from the television, but it's the reality, isn't it? So yeah, let's be optimistic. Let's be positive. That's what we're all about on DOdaily. It's just about keep doing what we do. Just doing it. Anyway, moving on to question 2. So, like I say, this week we've been talking about walking, an extra bit of focus. I'm looking at 1 or 2 projects in the coming weeks and months where going to put some real focus on inviting people into the community, particularly as we come out of lockdown. You know, again, I'm working as much as I can to invite them in whilst we're in lockdown through sort of social media, through different projects. But as we come out of lockdown, you'll see lots of things spring up. You know, I'm working on a real big project as well. So there's going to be focus on walking, on different kind of activities, on getting people involved who are not just runners. Of course, we like to think we're much more than just a running club. But to this point, that's essentially what we've been, you know, and that is my passion. That's something I don't want to lose. We'll always have the do running aspect of it. We'll always have the running groups when lockdown is over. But from my point of view, I want to extend things into walking. So like I say, we created that challenge, lots of enthusiasm around that today. So I did ask, I put the question out, I put a post out asking for questions, particularly about running, and I think this is kind of the start of it. Do you prefer getting out for activity AM or PM? It's a great question, Joe. Really good question, because this question comes up all the time. Are you a morning runner? Are you an evening runner? Do you know, I think my straightforward answer, and I'll extend on that, is I really, really enjoy getting out for a run in the morning or a walk, but I'm so much better in the evening. My performance is better. I can breathe better. Do you know, I really, really struggle in the morning. I really struggle to get used to it. I'm not a morning person. I spoke about that a lot. I really struggle to get up, you know, whilst I'm working at that all the time. I'm trying to get to bed early. I'm trying different things to get to sleep. I really struggle to get to sleep. So getting up in the morning becomes a problem. But when I do drag myself out, you know, I really enjoy the fact I've done it. It's in the bank, you know, I can tick it off. You know, I've got so many steps in, I've got this activity in. You know, I really enjoy the fact I've done it, but I really struggle whilst I'm doing it. So if I'm being realistic, you know, and I want to go out and run well, or go out on a long walk when I've got more time as well, it tends to be PM in the afternoon. I'm lucky at the moment with the way my work is that I tend to work in the morning on one thing and then get stuck into the do running stuff, so I can do meetings and conversations whilst I'm out walking. I can stick my headphones in, so I can really sort of use it as a dual purpose, and it really sort of works for me in that sense. You know, like I say, whilst I love getting out first thing, and I'll always advise it, you know, Friday is one of my favourite times of the week. You know, it's the afternoons where it really works for me, if you get what I'm saying there. So it's definitely, I definitely prefer getting out in the morning, but it's definitely the afternoon that makes it work for me. Do you know, I'd love to get up every morning, go for a run, know I've done it, you know, feel fresh, feel fantastic, but it just doesn't happen. I'm working so hard to use that extra bit of time. Like I say, in the afternoons, I just make it work for me now. Whilst it's frustrating sometimes that I can't get up early, that I do struggle to get out of bed, you know, I'm just making it work. I'm using it for other reasons. I'm using it to run errands, you know. And when I do want to go out and put in a good effort, you know, I'll go out. Thursday, for example, I've just been out for a run. Still a bit sweaty, still sort of collecting my thoughts a little bit. Really busy today, so apologies for that. But I always like to get out before a live episode. You know, it just calms me down a bit. It is a little bit nervous. It is a little bit daunting still. So it's great to sort of get out, use my run to sort of process my thoughts. And again, it's about whatever works for you, isn't it? However it sort of works best, you know. I know a lot of people who can jump out of bed and go out for a run. I'm envious of that, but it's whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong answer to this one. I know some people who run late at night. You know, it's however it works for you. When I started running, I never envisaged I'd run at 9 o'clock on a Sunday evening or 8:30 on a Friday night. You know, but when you get into it, when you get into streaks and all sorts of things, you know, you end up going at all times. So it becomes irrelevant in the end. It doesn't really matter. You know, the important thing is to get in that activity. And as with this challenge this week, get in your steps. That 10,000 steps a day is really, really important. It's not, again, it's a bit of a guide. It's not the be all and end all. It's a bit of a guide. And if you do those, you're almost doing the minimum amount of activity recommended to keep some sort of balance to your healthy lifestyle, and that's why that's suggested. But it's just about getting out there and doing it, whatever works for you, whenever it works, and making the absolute most of it. I've said over the last couple of months, really, really enjoying what I'm doing again. Over the whole of lockdown, I've taken on walking, and now it doesn't matter when I get out. I go out in the wind, rain, in the snow, 6 a.m., 10 p.m., whenever it works for me. And whenever I go, I absolutely love it, because one of the things activity does, it just takes you away from everything that's going off, and if I've had a really bad day, I might need it late at night just to sort of shake things off. If I've had a rough night, perversely, I might get up and get out there, just to try and wake myself up. And like I say, it's what works for you. I'm sure there's lots of different theories behind all that, but it's kind of the big question within running circles. But when you extend it into any activity, it's just the same, isn't it? It's about whatever works for you. Great question, that, particularly when we're asking for questions about walking and no activity, and people are unsure of how they should approach it. Question 3. Do you go for a walk for specific reasons? I'm sure Kay knows some of these because we talk a lot. Definitely, I mentioned there, sometimes if I've had a rough night, and I need to wake up, I feel really tired and I need to wake up properly before work, it's kind of catch-22 because I need more sleep, but sometimes I need that time to wake up as well, so I'll get out for a walk. Sunday, I'll go out for a run, and that little bit of achievement out of the day. I've started getting up on a Sunday and making sure I get the television comes on, just to feel like I've done it. I can relax, I can sit back, I can make the most of my time, and there's so many reasons I do it. I've mentioned just there about before DOdaily, just to settle my nerves a little bit on a Thursday. Of course, on a Friday, the whole purpose of the DOdaily episode is to walk, So again, it's about using different things, and sometimes, I've said so much in the last few months, what that does, it makes you forget about the activity sometimes. It makes you forget about the hard work. I like to make myself accountable by meeting others. And again, whether that's a walk or a run, you almost forget the miles, you're chatting away, and the miles are ticking off. Particularly with walking, I've looked at my watch when I've been with friends sometimes, and you're 8-9 miles in, and you think, wow. And then it feels like a massive achievement. It feels like it's worth it without even feeling it to that point. Of course, you feel tired. You feel tired afterwards, but you're gonna. That's what activity is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you tired before it gets you fit, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? And reaping all those benefits from it. So yeah, there's lots of reasons. But why I think this question is really important, and I felt I needed to answer it today, is what we need to do is understand the reasons we do it. We need to look at it, remember why we do certain things. When we are a little bit demotivated, when we're under the weather, we need to remember why we do these certain things. We need to keep pushing on, keep giving it a real go, and really sort of draw on that, our own motivations, other people's inspirations, what people are doing around us, and really sort of take that forward and take it into what we do. And when you do that, everything changes. I've said that a lot. Everything changes, and you approach it with a completely different outlook and a much more positive outlook. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Finding ways to motivate yourself, to keep going as you can. Of course, that's really important to me, and it's really important. Keep up the good work in that sense. But like I say, keep finding those reasons why you need to do it. I'm always coming up with different challenges, different tasks, you know, use them, you know, abuse them. I'm sure you will, you know, it's really important just to keep working hard, guys, keep remembering those reasons. And the last question today is from Dawn. Thanks for the question again, Dawn. Always there with the questions. Great support as ever. You know, of all the Wake Up to Walk episodes so far, which has been your favourite and why? You know, I've mentioned already, I absolutely love them all. They're fantastic. You know, my favourite time of the week, getting up early. For some reason now, on a Thursday, once I've done the live session, once the adrenaline settles a bit, I've looked at my run, I've watched it back. You know, I feel like I'm almost approaching the weekend. I have still got a day's work to do. I don't get Fridays off, unfortunately. But get up early, and it's the one time I jump out of bed, we get out somewhere different. I'm excited about where I'm going, what I'm doing. Do you know, the fact I can talk about something different. Do you know, I'm up early, looking forward to the weekend, reflecting on the week. You know, every single week I really, really enjoy it. I put pictures up, I take a lot of pictures, I put them up. Another reason I get so much from it. You know, so it really is my favourite time of the week. You know, I really enjoy what I do on a Friday, and again, I get a chance to have a little bit of a break before thinking about DOdaily all over again the following week. But there has been a couple of standout ones. You know, one that sticks out in particular is when I got into Nottingham, when lockdown first started. You know, and everything tightened up to the strictest measures, you know, and there was absolutely nobody about. Of course, we was allowed to get out and exercise, but seeing the city centre, you know, somewhere that's normally so vibrant, so busy, even at 6, 7 a.m. in the morning, seeing it completely bare, taking the pictures of the empty streets, that one was one of my favourites. You know, I went on a couple of staycations during the summer, again, when we was allowed. One to a place called Caton Bay. Do you know, absolutely love that place. From the moment I got there, we went Tuesday to Friday, you know, just for a couple of days in a caravan, and saw this big hill. I said to Kay, I'm going to be up that before you know it. And I went for a walk and came back an hour and a half later. So I used that same place for the Friday, and I was looking out over the bay and watched the sun come up, and it was absolute sun come up over the sea, and it was absolutely amazing. I can't wait to go back. We're definitely going to go back next year, you know, whether it's with other people or on our own. You know, I'm really looking forward to getting up there. One of my absolute favourite places. I've never been to that coastline before, so it really stood out for me. Also went to Norfolk, just outside Great Yarmouth, went to a place called Winterton by the Sea, a really quaint little village just set back off the beach. But again, we watched the sun come up, absolutely amazing. Got a chance to walk around the sand dunes and things like that. So that was brilliant as well. But yeah, every single one of them, I could list them all off, you know, because I take something from everyone. And that's another thing, isn't it? You know, I take sort of memories from them. I do a post with all the pictures on. People probably wonder why I sort of make so much of it, but it's just because every one of them, I've kind of got a tale to tell from them now, you know, whether I've nearly fell in the water somewhere or slipped over, or, you know, a dog's jumped up me, you know, there's always something, you know. Even in the last couple of weeks, get into a little place within the sort of town, you know, a little pond sort of set inside the suburbs, you know, it was absolutely fantastic. I walked Fridge again, there's a bit of history there, you know. Last week at Gunthorpe, you know, just learning new things all the time, it's so important. But I definitely, the two that really stick out is getting into Nottingham, like I say, lockdown, and getting up to Caton Bay, somewhere where I'm definitely going to keep going back to. I'm not the type of person, you might have noticed through the Fridays, despite the fact I walk around the river a lot, I don't generally go back to the same place. I do want to at some point, but I just love going exploring new places. But Caton Bay in particular, up on the Cleveland Way, you know, is definitely somewhere I'd recommend, and definitely somewhere I'm going to go back to. So Yeah, they're a couple of my favourites. Love that kind of question, you know, because I don't have to think about those things. It just comes straight from the memories, straight from feelings, you know. So fantastic question, Dawn, and once again, thank you for all the support. It's much appreciated. As ever, what I'm going to do is end on the throwback question. So, on the back of Dawn's question there, where is your favourite place to walk? As I've said all the way through, we're looking to sort of extend the offer. We'd already sort of got into walking and extending the offer to people who've not quite picked up the activity before the lockdown. But of course, with the lockdown, everything sort of hit us hard and we had to readjust and we had to rethink how we go about things. So I want to, like I said, I want to use the next couple of weeks, Lent in particular, to encourage people who are not as active as some, just to get involved, make them aware that the community is there for absolutely anybody, and highlight how much walking's worked for me. It really has. It's changed so much. I feel like I found myself. You know, I mentioned that episode from 2 weeks ago, and I was thinking, why did I do that at that point? You know, I've just learned so much about myself in the last couple of months. You know, some people might think that, believe me, it's not weak. You know, that took a huge amount of strength, you know, and as strong as I feel I can be, as honest as I can be, you know, it's during these walks, it's during activity where these things dawn on me. I allow myself to think about things. I allow myself to go over things. I allow myself to learn new things, you know, and it all pieces together. It's when I'm out there sort of on my own, you know, it really sort of dawns on me why I do certain things, why I understand things now, and why I'm prepared to do it. You know, there'll be people who question what I do. I'm not trying to be negative. There'll be people who question. There'll be people who are jealous. There'll be people who say, that's not strictly true. Well, I can't say everything, you know, because there's other people involved, but it's important for me to do it. Say from my point of view, you know, I can only use myself as an example, and that's all I'm doing here through Do Daily. If people choose to watch it, absolutely fantastic. You know, I can't thank them enough. But if they don't choose to watch it, if they think it's for any other reason than trying to help, that's up to them. I've made a big point today of thanking all those that keep getting involved, because it's really important. Like I say, whilst 200 viewers is great, you know, them that really support what I do is absolutely fantastic, because it gives me the energy and motivation to keep going. They're my real inspirations, people who don't worry regardless. You know, I spent the last 2 weeks being anxious about that video. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't do it again. That doesn't mean I'm not going to speak further about it in the future. It's about doing whatever we can to get through the situation, to make ourselves feel better, to keep pushing forward. And I'm not scared of mental health. I'm not scared of talking about anything. You know, if anybody does want to question me, I give them the opportunity here. I'll answer absolutely anything, you know, and keep sort of pouring it out there, you know, because that's exactly what Do Daily is about. It's exactly what Thursday Thoughts are about. It's about just being honest, relatable, showing people that everybody's got freedom of speech, the chance to speak to others. Do you know, one thing I've learned through doing Do Daily is people have become standoffish. That's absolutely fine, but that just proves that there's a real problem out there. There's a real stigma with mental health, doesn't it? Whilst I don't sort of tackle it in the technical sort of medical way, do you know, I'm not trained to do that. What I can do is talk from experience, talk from the heart, you know, and just keep doing what I believe in. And what I believe in right now is helping people who don't have that opportunity. That's what these challenges are about. That's what Do Running's about. That's what Do Daily is about. So as long as you're prepared to do that, as long as you keep watching, you know, it'll be absolutely fantastic. We'll keep improving. I'll keep improving. As ever, guys, please like, share, subscribe to the episode. You know, that's the way it builds. And like I say, if we can just help 1 or 2 people, if you know somebody that might benefit, share it with them, you know, because what harm is it going to do in the end? What harm does it do watching me? I'm highly inoffensive, you know, and if I have offended anybody, I do apologise in a way, but I'm sorry, not sorry, because at the end of the day, I'm doing what I want to do, trying to encourage others to do bring it out of them. Somebody had to do that to me. I had to listen to people. I thought I knew best. I wasn't arrogant or stubborn. I can be quite stubborn, but I wasn't arrogant with it. But it had to be drawn out of me by certain people. And when they did that, I started growing and becoming a bit more confident and more focused on what I want to do. And like I say, that's the point. I just wanted to get that message across today because it's really important to keep pushing forward through this pandemic. I use the first question because we do have to speak about this thing. It's not going away quickly. We have to be honest with ourselves. We have to keep pushing on, keep being determined, get the bit between your teeth, remember what works. I see a lot of people sort of, I can't be bothered to run. Why? You enjoy it. Get out there, do it. This is the perfect time to do it. Not traveling to work, not doing this, not doing that. It gives you the opportunity. And this is all I'm trying to sort of promote and encourage, like I say. So keep watching, guys. Thanks again. Thanks for all the input. Get involved in the challenges. Check back on those videos. Like I said, I'll be back in the morning for Wake Up to Walk. Hopefully it'll be another cracker. I'll have to give it some thought after giving it the big build up, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Looking forward to finishing off a positive week. Probably tell you what I'm doing at the weekend. Have a quick reflection on the week, and we'll give it a real go again tomorrow. Until then, guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. Please comment on the throwback question. Any questions you've got, don't be shy. I need support to do this. People might leave it to others. They might sort of think that's not for me. But if you want to get behind it, that's the best way you can. If you want to get behind me, if you don't, I can't do much about that, can I? But comment, post in any of the social media. I'll pick it up over the week, and hopefully it'll be an even better episode next week. I'm not sure how this one's been. Like I said, just got back from a run, a bit out of breath, plonk myself in front of the camera, but that's the best way. You get what you see here. Until tomorrow, guys, just doing it.